What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Introverted Superstars podcast. I'm your girl, Nina Gabrielle.
And I am Kay Khalid.
And we want to thank you for coming back and hanging out with us yet again. Thank you so much.
Appreciate y'all.
So, we're just going to do a little catch up and just see how your week been going,
Nina, it's been going pretty good. I had a few things to do over the weekend. Had to get my son, who's a junior in high school, off to a college visit. So, we're at that stage where we're going to be going to different college campuses for like open houses, campus visit days. So I woke up early Saturday morning and that was my day. Took him, because
how did he like it? You liked it?
He said he really liked it.
Okay.
And so, that was one of what we hope to be a few more. We want to see all the options that he may have before him and kind of let him get out there and see what the next phase in his life is going to look like.
Yeah.
So we got good information. It was a long day, but a good day.
A good day.
So
well, that's all that matters.
I'm not mad at it, and then, of course, I got up because on Sundays I cook. So today I made my grocery store run early this morning. I said I was going to break out the crock pot today.
Come on, crock pot.
And so that's what I did. I had a little, turkey wings, southern folks,
Very
country
good.
folks know what I'm talking about. Turkey wings, rice, string beans, cornbread, none too much.
Sound good to me. Should have invited us over because I did not do that.
Uh-oh.
But yeah, well, that's good. I'm glad that he enjoyed, and I need to be doing the same thing because our sons are in the same grade. So I need to just kind of play catch up on getting him visiting because he hasn't visited yet, but he does have a list of different schools he would like to visit. He
That's
takes
a good start point.
Yeah.
Just knowing where to go.
Yeah, I think junior year is when it's very important to kind of get this stuff started because I remember for myself, a lot of the stuff that I did, I waited till my senior year. You know what I mean? And I wish that I would have kind of got a kickstart on it sooner. But I mean, and it didn't deter anything. It's just good to kind of have the time. That way, senior year, you can just kind of...
Yeah, they need to kick back and
relax.
enjoy that year.
Yeah, and not worry about all of that. I already have a plan, know where you're going, you know what I mean? So
absolutely,
I think it's great. So my son takes the SAT.
Hey.
This coming Saturday, and he's prepared for it. He's a junior, so we want to start early so that he get a chance to, if he needs to take it again, we have time to take it again, and that kind of thing. So, I'm just trying to get him in that. Don't be afraid of this test. I know it's a big deal test and everything, but the last thing I want is for him to have anxiety around it, because I know a lot of kids that just suffer from the anxiety of just test taking itself. Sure. So I just want him to know that it's okay. Breathe through it. If we need to take it again, we'll take it again. No worries. But he's a smart kid. He's a good kid, and he'll do fine.
Absolutely.
I'm not even worried. And so another thing in regards to this son, so he's going to be in a play.
Hey.
Aladdin.
Okay. Acting debut.
He's going to be the genie.
Oh, that's a good leading role.
Right. And so, but with that, he has a lot of practices. They practice, choreography, singing, rehearsal, all of that good stuff. And so his best friend plays Aladdin.
Nice. Okay, so they should be vibing real good.
Right. His best friend, they are just two peas in the pod. They are so much alike. I love them when they're together. But it was, we kind of do this thing, his best friend's mom and I, where we help each other out. If I need to give her son a ride here, she give my son a ride. We just kind of piggyback off of each other and make sure our kids are straight.
Come on, village.
But village, everybody needs a village, but I don't know her very well, and we talk so much through text and, but we had the opportunity to hang out, You know, because we always say we do so much for our kids. We love our kids. We just need to go out, have a girls' night, girls' lunch, dinner at the Mexican. So we did that.
Got a life too.
Mama gotta have a life. This mama gotta have a life. Anyway, so we did that, and I just enjoyed her so much and her story and where they came from, and we just got a chance to really get to know each other. And I know the whole thing nowadays is like no new friends. I done had my same friends forever and ever. No new friends. I don't trust you. I don't know you. But I like her.
Okay. And that's fair. That's like, you never know, who's gonna come into your life and be a positive. So why not? It's good to have new friends.
New friends.
Yeah.
So I have a new friends at my great big age, and I'm so excited about it. So we plan to hang out again and, just be grown. Just do grown-up stuff. And, sometimes we want to be able to have fun and talk to each other outside of just what we have going on for our children. So, I'm just, that is something that I was very happy about. I needed that. And I think that she really needed that too. And so I just look forward to more of that. But so I had a great weekend and sound like you had a very eventful and great weekend.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to keep it going. We're going to move into the Culture Corner. And the Culture Corner is where we discuss different topics regarding Black entertainment. Typically Black entertainment. I'm not just going to say Black, but mainly Black. Because we Black. We Black.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Do it for the culture.
That's what we do it for. This is the Culture Corner. So, one thing that I want to talk about, and so much has been going on lately, that it's almost overwhelming, and it's almost like, okay, this is only an hour show. We got to pick what we need to talk about because there's a lot of stuff going on. So, I want to kick it off talking about our basketball friend, Ja Morant.
Wow.
Ja Morant has found himself in a little bit of hot water. And he is under investigation right now by the NBA. He has been suspended for 2 games while they investigate this, all because allegedly, I saw the video.
I was going to say, is it allegedly?
Allegedly, Ja Morant was caught brandishing a firearm while live on Facebook from a strip club. Now,
holding it up, smiling to be exact. Let's just call a thing a thing.
I want to say allegedly because he's under investigation, but I know what I seen with my own 2 eyes. And what my own 2 eyes told me was that this dude was in the strip club like, you know what I'm saying? And so it's like, sir, you have so much going on for yourself. You are arguably one of the most talented people in the NBA right now. You have endorsements, so many fans following you, but it seems like the last few months, it's been back-to-back different issues surrounding Ja Morant. And I want to know what that's all about. It's almost like he just wants to be in the thick of controversy.
Or it's like almost like an identity crisis, like thug life is not your life. Ja, and that is okay. From just getting into different altercations to now this gun situation, it's not a good look because it only takes one wrong incident to ruin a career for an athlete. Unfortunately, he has too much on the line to be involved in this just mess. And
it's mess.
It's
foolishness. It's foolishness, because if it's not him brandishing his gun, it's his friends and his daddy, with Shannon Sharp and cutting up. And it's like you have so much going for yourself. And it's almost hard to watch because it's like you really are going to let this foolishness
take you
all the way down through there. And everything that you worked so hard for, it's going to be all for naught. You know what I mean?
True.
And I know he's a young guy, he's young, he's rich, he's doing what he loves to do every single day. You know, so it probably can get easy, and especially when you have some of those same people.
I was gonna say, it's his people who are around him.
I mean, you have some of those people that sometimes you just have to love people from a distance. You know what I mean? Like, you still my guy, you my dude, you my partner, but I gotta be over here. And when we can link up, we'll link up. But you can't be around me all the time because shit seems to go down when we are together.
And he can't be out here wilding out. He's gonna have to switch gears.
He's gonna have to switch gears. So he's gonna have to do something different. You know, and so I just hope the best for him. I think I know that there are other celebrity basketball players that have reached out to him. I know that Jalen Rose had some things to say regarding it and how he wants, you know, better for Ja. So I just hope that he can turn this around, and I hope that he isn't penalized too bad for this, but he has to make better decisions.
That he does. Well, I just gotta come on in and say, caution. Let's talk about Miss Angela Yee. So, as we all know, Angela Yee has left the Breakfast Club after 12 long years. She's gone off to pursue her own ventures of Way Up with Angela Yee. And of course, she has her Lip Service podcast, which has jumped out there, which is doing well. You know, Angela Yee is a known name. Of course, she was on the Breakfast Club alongside Charlamagne and DJ Envy. You know, supposed to be in the room, kind of holding it down for the ladies. But some people are saying that wasn't really the case. Like, Angela was there and was a female in body, but she wasn't really holding it down for, you know, the girls like she should have been. I mean, there have been comments made like Charlamagne and Envy, you know, have sent women away in tears because of their comments. Right. Lil Mama
still a meme. She's still a meme.
Yeah, and that's
her crying on the Breakfast Club is a meme to this day. That girl had just lost her mom when all of that went down. And they have yet to apologize. If they have apologized to her, I'm not familiar with that. But she was clearly hurting in that moment.
Right.
And, you know, I hate that because I did see what Lil Mama had to say. And she did say that Angela Yee was just basically not for women. She didn't look out for her in that moment.
Right.
You know what I mean? And she called her on her bullshit. And I say good for her because I saw that interview and I saw how hurt that little girl was.
Right. And you just can't be out here, you know, compromising people's feelings or compromising being the female representative at the table for ratings. Like,
for ratings.
Not a good look. Especially when eventually now Miss Yee has branched off to do her own thing. So, you know, some of your audience is a little bit upset because not only did Lil Mama chime in, Miss Erica Mena had some things to say.
Not Mena.
Yeah, regarding her colleague, Mr. Envy. You know, these things are speculations and whatnot. So, but what's being said is Angela Yee also took a silent mouth and a blind eye to some of Envy's indiscretions with women as a married man.
That's tough.
So
that's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough and it's messed up because one, yes, as a woman in the room, you definitely want to, look out for the women that come to visit your show and be a voice for women. I mean, that's what you're there for. It's two other men that's on that show. You are the woman's voice and the voice of reason or how women may feel. You just are. Right. You might not want to be, you might not think you are, but you just are. And so, but it does get sticky when it comes to relationships. And I will say that because sometimes,
well, yeah, people want to say
sometimes people want to say it's not my business, and that's that grown man. He made those vows to his own wife, and I'm just going to stay out of it. So I do not feel she responsible.
Okay.
So to speak, you know what I mean, for that situation. Now it would be different if Erica Mena and Angela Yee are really good friends,
right?
And you know, in that way, I would say, okay, if ye did not say anything, then you know you're dead wrong for not saying anything.
But not even a little bug in the ear like, hey, Envy, your wife called. Just kind of toss it out there.
I think that she probably was just trying to steer clear of the whole situation.
Okay.
But that doesn't make it right. But that situation does not make her wrong necessarily either.
True that. And talking about husbands and wives and indiscretions and infidelities and
baby, I already know where you're going.
And famous people and famous couple. There was a gentleman by the name of Chris Rock who decided to go live on Netflix 10 p.m. last night.
Baby, he did that. He definitely went live on the Netflix at 10 p.m. on last night.
Okay. Tell me, Miss Nina G, what you said.
Baby. Okay.
It's a lot.
It's been a year. Mm-hmm. Okay. Since everything went down.
Right. And by everything we mean the
infamous slap, of the Oscars last year, as I think the entire world knows that Chris Rock made a joke regarding Jada Pinkett Smith's hair. I'm not going to go into the joke, but if you have to be under a rock to not know what the joke was. And he made a comment and a joke that, Will was laughing about in the beginning. When the camera panned on him, he seemed to think it was funny, but Jada not so much. And the next thing we know, Will was storming up on stage. He open hand slapped Chris Rock in the face live on the Oscar stage. Yeah. That's a lot. But I'm not going to make it seem like Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith were all that Chris talks about.
Okay.
He did have a whole comedy special. I felt it to be entertaining. Mm-hmm. A lot of the conversation on the social media networks now is that, he
pushed a few buttons
with black women, agitated a few people, and people had things to say regarding his take on black women or some of the jokes that he had towards black women. To that I say, I do feel like they are proving his point of selective outrage.
That is the quote.
That is the name. The name of the show was Selective Outrage. Mm-hmm. And so I think that it was genius of him to name it that.
Right.
Because now everybody is talking about Chris, and some are upset with what Chris had to say. Mm-hmm. Some were not upset with what Chris had to say. Right. People are selecting what they're mad about. Now, just a few months ago, everybody was on Jada Pinkett Smith. True. And when I say everybody was on her hard about how she treats her husband, right, and things of that nature, and that's all I kept reading. True. But now all of a sudden, Chris Rock had something to say. And now, we're not mad at Jada no more.
Right.
Selective outrage. It's proving his point. Mm-hmm. I think that all of his other jokes were pretty funny. I enjoy Chris Rock's comedy. I think that he did a good job. It wasn't until like the last 20 minutes or so he started talking about Meghan Markle as well. And, how she kind of went on a victim tour saying how she just didn't know that she was going to be treated like this within the royal family. And I just didn't know it was going to be that way. And Chris was basically saying it's the royal family. They invented racism. Like, how did you not know?
Really?
You know what I mean? Right. And so people had something to say about that. Selective outrage. And so I liked it. I enjoyed the special. I could tell that when he was speaking about Will and Jada that he had been holding that.
I see.
He really has been wanting to say that for a very long time.
So good for him taking that opportunity to go ahead and get that off of his chest. I think, he had a good strategy for waiting it out and just kind of waiting until his time.
Yeah.
Being on his time on a platform.
His time.
Right.
Not yours.
Right.
His. He can say, and I don't mean to cut you off, but this man chose how and when to address what happened to him.
Exactly.
This trauma happened to him. You see what I'm saying? And so people have a lot to say about what they would or would not do in regards to a comeback or slapping or you didn't do anything on the stage. During the special, he said, I didn't do anything back because my parents taught me better than that. I was raised. Right. You know what I mean? I'm not going to fight this man on this show in front of these white people. Right. I'm not going to do it.
Right. But he made it a joke, but you could feel that was real.
You could feel it. The emotion was welling up to the point where I felt like he might have cried. So I know that it's been hard for him to kind of hold that for as long as he has, but he knew he had to speak on it.
Right.
He had to speak on it.
And he did it his way as a creative comedian. So good for you, Chris.
Good for you, Chris Rock.
That's right.
I said it.
That's right.
You don't have to like it.
Stand on it.
Stand on it. And I can like Chris and I can like Will at the same time. And not agree with what Will did and not agree with, you know what I mean? These are comedians. Chris Rock is a stand-up comedian, meaning everything. Anything.
It's fair game.
It's fair game. You know, and so when Chris said, you know, that hit wasn't for me, basically.
Right. I felt that.
It wasn't for me. He said, your wife had the entanglements. I didn't. So, you know, I just, you know, people are going to be talking about it for a while. I feel like it's the slap that just will never go away. And we'll see what unfolds after this, all of this.
That's just how this thing goes.
It's just, apparently, shit. Can't get away from it.
Well, you know what I was thinking about as I was out over this past weekend? You know, the sun is shining real nice.
It's real pretty
here in Georgia.
It's so pretty.
Weather's kind of starting to come through a little bit. You know, it's a little. We won't get too excited because we know
it's
how
gonna
bipolar
get
our weather is.
It's gonna get cold.
But with it being March and with the weather kind of making a little shift, we know kind of like, okay, it's about time to resume being outside. Like, it's
all the way outside.
About to be time to do some things out of doors. You know, I have a birthday in the spring. My birthday is in April. You follow me. You're in May. So it's time to start thinking about like getting out. Like what's it gonna be? So in thinking about that, I have realized a few things. But one of the major things I have realized is if you give me two options, day party versus nightclub, I'm rocking with the day party.
Yeah, because first of all, I don't like nightclubs. I mean, if we really just gonna be for real, I don't like nightclubs.
I just feel like it's one of those things to where it is so great and it's so exciting. You know, when it's new to you and when you're kind of feeling that whole scene out and you're getting to know it. But once you know it, it's kind of definitely a been there, done that. And, you know, you want to just kind of party on a different level in a different way. Like for me, I like the day party because you know it's going to go ahead and jump off at a decent time.
At a decent time.
Daylight party. But you can still do the same activities, still have just as much fun, you know, still get cute, step out, let that good Georgia sunshine hit you. There's always a brunch or a day party or this or that, something going on.
Brunch is a day party.
Right. Something going on around the city to get into. So for me, if I can go have my good time, look cute, kiki, and be back home by 9, really before that, but at the very latest.
9 is good time.
9 is like my good cutoff.
It's a good time.
Winning.
all the way. And I do agree with you. When I was a little bit younger, I enjoyed nightlife. You know, I wouldn't mind going out to a club. I wouldn't mind getting all dressed up and, you know, what we doing, where we going, pregame and all that kind of stuff like that. Just to go and
stand in line
and then
get inside
and stand, and you know what I mean. And you know, I used to wait here. I don't have time for that nowadays. Give me a good old brunch.
Okay.
A good old day party. Yes. All I need is a little mimosa, a little DJ playing, you know, give me some good old waffles, good old chicken, you know what I mean? And a sundress, and I'm all right. Atlanta has done a great job with their day party and brunch culture. Like, Atlanta and the brunch scene, if you are not familiar, is everything. And you people get dressed up. They put on some of their nicest to go to brunch.
And it spans like all types of people, you know, all ranges, all backgrounds, all lifestyle. You could see any and everybody at brunch.
Anybody
it
at
just
the brunch
draws us in. And I just think it's great because, again, I can still come home, have had a great time, unwind, think about what a great time I had, and be in bed at a decent hour.
A decent hour, girl. And I don't want to sound like an auntie, but damn it, I'm an auntie. I got to get in the bed. I can't be.
What's wrong with getting sleep?
Nothing.
If you were out there and you have a problem with sleep,
what's wrong with you?
But also, you know, just thinking about the things that you kind of know you're subjecting yourself to with going out at night. Like, especially around Atlanta, parking.
Oh my God.
Number one, you paying for it. And
you gon' pay.
A pretty penny for it.
You gon' pay.
Okay. Then you get your parking done. You know, you're all dressed up. You have on your heels and what have you.
Yes,
you have to come and stand in line. You know, I'm all for VIP if I can get it, but that's not always the case.
Not always.
You're standing in line, and the heels have an expiration time on
Do
them.
they ever? Especially nowadays.
Right. So you do that. You get inside. You still possibly have to stand at the bar and try to get service.
Yeah.
Or it's just a lot.
You know, but you know, the thing about it is, and if I go out in the evening time, I'm probably going to go to some type of lounge.
Okay.
You know, I like going to lounges, sports bars, things like that, because you can still get music, but you pretty much guaranteed somewhere to sit, first of all. And,
well, but there's this thing of the section culture around here.
And I was going to speak on it. I was going to say nowadays things are a little bit different where everything is about a section. You paying thousands of dollars to have your section, you know, and it's like they may have 4 or 5 sections in the place and then everybody else just standing around like sardines. But in a lounge or a sports bar, it's not typically like that.
Okay.
There's a little bit more seating.
Okay.
There are sections in some of them, you know what I mean? But you can find a little bit more seating in lounges, more so than, of course, in a nightclub, what seating?
Right.
All you got is sections and everybody else standing. And
because the seat is important. I gotta be sitting pretty.
Because what I ain't gonna do is stand. I'm not standing up the whole night. I'm not doing it. I've done that. Been there, done that. I could write a book. It's time to move forward. So give me a brunch day party anytime.
Yes, I'm all for it. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
We got birthdays coming up.
Birthday bitches.
We're going to be out in the daytime.
In the daytime. And if I want to do something at night, I'll do it from the comforts of my own home where we pay the mortgage at.
All right now.
And nothing wrong with it.
Amenities. That's right.
Grown people.
I love it.
So yeah, I think we both agree. Day party, brunch wins. Day party wins. We'll leave the nightclub to the young people. You guys can have it. Be safe. Be careful. But we ain't gonna be there. We don't want to be, and I'm sure you don't want us there anyway. Anyway, moving on. So a different topic that I wanted to kind of talk about a little bit was women. Is it that hard to give her props? Think about it. This is hard.
So when you say that, okay, let's bring this into context. So you mean like there's this female that's out there, she's doing her thing. She's getting her bag. She looks good doing it.
Yeah.
She just has it all together. And it sounds like you're saying there's hateration and holleration.
Come on, Mary. I mean, this dancery. So yeah, I just kind of feel like, and I'm speaking from my own experience as well in this regard. I feel like sometimes it's hard for women to stick up for one another or to give praise when we see that women are other women are doing what we're not or what we aspire to do.
Now I see.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So
yeah, that can be a kind of touchy, tricky situation because, you know, I think it's a natural reaction for some people to get a little tinge of that green-eyed monster, a little tinge of jealousy when they maybe aspire to do what they see the next person doing. So I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So that being said, I remember a time where, you know, I had a friend.
Okay.
And of course, just for the sake of this, I'm not going to say any names.
That's proper.
Because I'm just not. But I had a friend that it just kind of seemed like anytime I did something that I felt was good, or got my hair done, or got something new, or
just doing you,
just doing me, I just felt like she could never say,
girl,
you look nice.
Right,
you look nice, or your hair is pretty, or you know what I mean? Like, just found it hard. And so I pick up on that. Because I'm the type of person, when my friends are doing great, I'm going to be your biggest cheerleader. Like, bitch, you look
so good.
And I mean it. You see what I'm saying? I have friends that are doing wonderful in life right now.
Love to see it.
Wonderful. Businesses, money, traveling. You know what I mean? And I be like, go, bitch, go.
But you have to think about it like this. Why would I want to be associated with otherwise? Like, I want my tribe to be lit. I want my people to be doing their thing and looking good doing it. Like, I find it so easy to congratulate, encourage, all of that to the next woman because, you know, you never know how much opposition a person faces to get to whatever you're seeing the end product of. So go ahead and get them people their flowers.
Get them people their flowers because you know they doing a damn thing.
That's right.
You know they are. And that's why you feel some type of way because you wish it were you and not them. But don't do that.
It's enough for all.
It's enough for everybody. Let me tell you something. We decided to start this podcast thing. And at first I was like, well, maybe not because it's so saturated and everybody's doing a podcast. I can't think like that. Everybody ain't saying what I'm saying or what Kay Kali is saying. Right. You see what I'm saying?
It's only one me, baby.
It's only one me, honey.
And there should be a note up, though.
So we're going to talk about what we talk about and we're going to do what we do.
Our way.
Our way. And if you like it, thank you for rocking with us and we appreciate you. And if you don't, it's 1,000 gajillion billion other podcasts that you can associate yourself with, and we won't be mad.
No, but for anyone who wants to give me my flowers, I love them.
Same here. Same here. I really appreciate my genuine friends and family. You know, that
and all of you cousins.
All of you cousins. Because this is my real life cousin. I don't know if y'all know that. This is my real life cousin. We're first cousins. Our mom and dad are brother and sister. And so we are cousins. And that's what we call ourselves when we just do. And so you guys can be our cousin too.
That's right.
So anyway, cousin. So yeah, I brought that up to say women do better.
Right.
You know, you don't like when men talk about us. You don't like when other people talk about us. So let's do our thing and uplift each other. That's you know what I mean? Because let's not be hypocrites.
That's right.
Or have selective outrage about certain things or certain people that talk about women when you can't even give your homegirl, or not even your homegirl, a stranger, the props that you know she deserves.
That's right. Go ahead and give it up.
Give it up.
For as much negativity is out there, throw that positivity in the mix.
You got to. You got to. And if you want to know how she did it, ask.
And if she want to tell you, she will. If she doesn't, that's okay.
That's okay. Because just because she doesn't still mean that she's not doing something great. And you can still find out. You know what I mean? So just don't hate on people. Congratulate people in what they're doing, if they're doing something, especially that you know you aspire to do. That's why I want to give a shout out to the girls over there at Cocktails. I want to give a shout out to the girls over there at Poor Minds. I want to give a shout out to all you ladies holding it down in the podcast realm, because we do admire and appreciate what you girls are doing. And if ever y'all want to collab, we are here.
That's right, because we
girl power,
congratulate, never hate.
Beyonce said, "Who run the world?"
Girl.
And I agree with that. So shout out to you ladies. Shout out to everybody aspiring to be great. And yeah, so that's that on that.
That's right. Y'all better pick up what she done put down.
This damn girl. Okay, so we're going to move on to the sitting up in my room portion of our podcast. And if you remember, sitting up in my room is something that we think about, something that's in your mind that has been up in there. It could be an old memory. It could be something that you just can't seem to shake. You know what I mean? But it's sitting up in your room.
That's right.
And you just want to talk about it. So let's talk about it. Okay. So I have sitting up in my room. My youngest son, his birthday is coming up, right?
Right.
So he want to go, you know, he asking for nothing too major.
Okay, well, that's good.
He asking for nothing too major. He wants to go to the trampoline park with some of his friends and family.
Okay.
You know, he wanted, you know, to have a little pizza. It's not too bad. But mind you, when you have birthdays, kids' birthdays, especially at these places, they like to try to like kind of knock you over the head sometimes with these prices, ain't it? And they be like, now wait a minute, you be paying per child. You don't what by the hour. You just shelling out by the time you get. And they be like, how much money I spend? You know, so I'm trying to keep the budget.
Okay. But still let him
enjoy, because he's going to be turning a teenager. You know, he'll be a teenager, no more preteen. I want him to be able to experience what he wants to experience for his 13th birthday. You know, and so that's why I'm like, okay, but he asking for nothing too out of the way.
Right, because I can tell you nowadays, the trampoline park or something like that, yes, that sounds doable, because we have 1-year-olds out here with
baby
birthday parties, pulling up in baby Bentleys with photographers and venues where they're serving lobster and shrimp that the baby probably can't eat, but I guess somebody decided that was a good idea for a baby's party. They're doing wardrobe changes. They have a lot going on, like starting at birthday number 1.
And it's ridiculous. I'm not here to tell anybody how and what to do for their child.
Right.
Let me start off by saying that. Okay. I am not here to tell anybody how and what to do for their child. But I will say,
but is it for the child? I think
that part. Is it for the child? Because a lot of this stuff seems to be more so for social media than it is for this baby who not gonna remember it the next day.
It's like a flex for the parents. Let's just call a thing a thing.
It's a flex. It's a flex. Y'all out here spending all this unnecessary money on these kids' birthday parties. I remember when.
Talk about it.
I remember when your parents couldn't put hot dogs, either boil them or put them on the grill.
Right.
Them hot dogs, everybody got a hot dog. Everybody got some Lay's potato chips, the original. Everybody got maybe a Capri Sun or a little Hug, or your parent made Kool-Aid. You know, everybody had a little cone hat. We cut a little birthday cake. We sang, we danced, we popped some balloons, and you went home.
And you had a big tub of ice cream that was white, pink,
and brown. The Neapolitan. That's what I remember. You know what I'm saying? And now it just seems like that. I feel like a kid would turn their nose up at that so fast. Because their parents are teaching them this, to me, unrealistic view on what your birthday is supposed to be every year. True. It doesn't have to be that every year.
Right, because, you know, most parents, we want the best for our children. And some parents, I think, put a lot of effort in kind of giving their kids things that they didn't necessarily have. But even for me, like, if I'm sitting up in my room and I'm thinking about, like, one of my best birthday parties ever, I think back to when I was a little girl, and the highlight for me was a baby doll cake. So the doll cake was like, the top portion was a Barbie doll type doll at the top, and the bottom portion was, which was cake, was the doll's dress. And it was so cute for a little girl. It was so adorable. Obviously, this was many years ago in my life, but my highlight was a doll cake. Like, not like getting off of a helicopter or having photographers come to photograph me, or, you know, shutting the city down to make a movie for my birthday video. It was a doll cake.
A doll cake. And you remember that to this day.
To this day. And we'll never forget it. And I just thought that was the greatest thing. Like, oh my gosh, you know, it's so pretty. And it was merely just a cake.
Right.
And that was like the biggest highlight of my party, along with having people like my cousin right on the front row.
She said, I don't remember, but she said we got pictures of everything.
We do, holding that doll cake up.
Oh my God.
But it was that sort of thing, like as a little girl wearing a party dress, a party hat, a doll cake, dress. Family and friends there, you get some gifts, everyone sings happy birthday, and it was just like good times. Like, that was what it was about for me. And even with my own child, you know, we've had birthday parties, and things like that, but I always just try to make it memorable within reason.
Right.
Again, this is not a snub to anyone who has millions of dollars and that's how they want to spend them on their kids. But you just have to wonder what they're really going to take away from it and what they're really going to remember. And if I don't have to spend $1 gazillion and they still have a good time, I'm all for it.
Me too.
Doll cakes for everybody.
Doll cake for everybody. You get a doll cake. You get a doll cake. You get a doll cake. And I bet you your child will remember that doll cake just the way Kay remembers her doll cake up until her great age. So, you know, it's just one of those things where the culture is just so different now. Children are different now. Parents are different now. And I think that sometimes I feel like we've lost sight of
what could potentially matter.
What really matters sometimes.
Yeah.
For sake of likes or for sake of just saying that you did something better than somebody else.
True that.
And I hate it, but it's the world we live in.
Well, Dallas better be sitting up in his room years from now like, I had a blast when I turned 13 at the trampoline
he better be. He better.
Right.
So yeah, so that's just the sitting up in my room portion, you know, just some of those things that you think about or you just remember, because that used to be just so easy. And I know our parents, I mean, I'm sure our parents it still was kind of hard getting, wrestling kids together and getting all that, but I still remember it. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's sitting up in my room, and I'm sure you guys have some things sitting up in your room too. So if ever you want to share what's sitting up in your room, or you have any questions for us, or anything that you want to have shared on our show, within reason.
Right. If you want us to talk about it, we'll do that.
We will. All you have to do is contact us at introvertedsuperstar@gmail.com. That's introvertedsuperstar@gmail.com. We would love to be able to share what you have, and we'll give you some of our advice. And hopefully, you know, you can use that advice and do something with it. We are not experts, like I like to say all the time, but we have lived, and we do have something to say. And if you want to hear what we have to say in regards to your situation,
send it on in.
introvertedsuperstar@gmail.com.
And we will talk about it.
We will talk about it. So, okay. Anything else you would like to share with the people before we go?
You know, I just want people, as we go out into this week, to just like go be great. Like be encouraged. Like a lot of the times the things that we touch on in like the culture corner, or just things that are going on in the news or different other things around us, it's not a whole lot of good news. So you gotta be out here building your own good news, making things great for yourself. Like we have talked about, if you see somebody else being great, you better go ahead and tell them right now, and let them know, hey, you are killing it, whatever it is. And I see you and I admire you. And hopefully that same energy will flow and come right back around to you.
All right, girl. I like that. You better say that. And we want to say thank you to our producer who holds us down with everything. Thank you. Big old shout out to our boy Sidekick Larry. We appreciate you, Sidekick. You want to leave us with anything?
That's about right for Sidekick.
It is. It's about right for Sidekick. We just want to thank you so much for everything that you do for us. And again, thank you guys for tuning in with us. We appreciate you guys. And we will see you next week. Bye.